Now, Dr. Bell's Crusade. A very large proportion of the violent crime in this country is committed by black people against other black people. That is not a very popular thing to talk about in the black communities of America. In Chicago, Gary Reeves found a man who doesn't care how unpopular it is. He wants to see this violence end and is talking about it in public and out loud.
I want everybody to know that today is our big rally against crime.
United will never be defeated. The people, united, will never be defeated.
It's a growing movement in black America, the fight to stop the crime that ravages the nation's inner cities. And when it comes to crime, Chicago is no exception.
28-year-old family man Leroy Hill was shot and killed this morning, becoming the second shooting victim in 2 days.
The 38 caliber bullet only shot through the 18-year-old's right arm.
Police say it was here at the 47th Street Dan Ryan L stop last night where another senseless act of violence took place.
Currently, homicide is a leading cause of death in black males 15 to 44. Right here, right now, 1 out of 21 of you, unfortunately, is going to be killed by homicide. Sitting right here. And you're probably going to be killed by somebody in your family or somebody you know. Those are facts. We tend to kill each other. Drug addiction is a
If there is a war on against black crime, Dr. Carl Bell fancies himself a general.
There are dangers that you're going to have to face.
But his training is not military, it's medical.
Okay. How are you feeling right now?
I'm in another world.
Are you taking some kind of nerve medication too?
Taking a blue pill for nerves? She's here. No? Then, well, it could be that when her temper starts getting real rough.
Carl Bell is a Chicago psychiatrist. He studied at Meharry Medical School in Nashville, Tennessee.
We also need to put you on some medication to help with your temper.
Okay. Victims of violence so dominate his patient load, he has made violence his specialty.
The reason I'm doing this is because there's a need to do it, and I'm a public health-oriented physician who is trained and professionally socialized to deal with public health issues at Meharry. And so if I see that there's a homicide problem in the American society, then I need to reduce that homicide problem, that problem with violence, because then I'll have less work. I'll have less abused children who are depressed and suicidal and abusing drugs. I'll have fewer problems to deal with up the road if I take care of it at the beginning of the road.
The shooting broke out behind the school gym just after a state playoff basketball game.
2 men were injured here when they were shot by 2 others in a car.
Bell sees violence much the same way Jonas Salk saw polio, as a threatening epidemic that saps the nation's strength.
There have been several years in this country, 1981 being one of them, in which there were more black males killed by other black males in 1981 than all of the black males who died in the 12, 13 years of the Vietnam War.
Bell has responded with a crusade, a campaign called Stop Black on Black Murder.
It is in the best interest of the majority society, if you will, in this country to see to it that African Americans stop doing violence and destruction upon themselves and start developing their own economic initiatives, because it then takes them off the hook for taking care of that group of people, for having to spend the money on the violence, to have to deal with the violence which is going to creep into and is already creeping into their safe suburban societies.